and welcome to another booktube video from me, Lauren, from Lauren and the Books. And today is my number 4 episode in my Lit Chat series. These cards are made by the behind the people that made the Book Riot podcast. These are made by Book Riot, and they're amazing. There are 100 cards which have bookish and literary questions on that you can discuss or discuss with friends or just have a think about by yourself. And I thought that they're such good, amazing questions, and I'm always looking for more exciting content, that I would do this whole set of cards on my channel as a series. So this is episode 4. I will link the playlist with all the episodes that I've done so far down below. I'm going to be sort of doing like one episode by myself, one episode with a guest, blah blah blah, and I will also link where you can get these cards from if you fancy them, because I feel like they're really great, especially if you've got bookish friends. Like, to have a chat about these is amazing. So anyway, they're all in here. Let's pull one out. Oh dear. Oh dear. So let's pull one. Let's have a look. So all of these, love, and they're all like in the shape of book. I mean, you've probably seen this many times before, but they're all in the shape of books as well. So let's just pull one at randomium. So this is Utopia. So I will write the question down below in the information box, and if you want to respond with your, I don't even know what it's going to say yet, but if you want to respond with what your thoughts are on this question. I love reading the comments. I've really been enjoying reading people's comments in response to this. So blah blah blah. The question is, do you envision paradise as a kind of library? Describe it. And the second part is, what character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? Oh, very good. Now, one problem I'm having with these cards is every single card I've got is relating back to Harry Potter in some way. So yeah, there's going to be something related to Harry Potter at some point, but the first part of this question, do you envisage paradise as a kind of library? Describe it. So yeah, I guess like my happy place, if we're thinking about happy places, my happy place is sitting on my very old and very dilapidated yet very, very comfortable sofa with a book. David gets home just after me when we're at work during the week, and I sort of steal sort of 20 to 30 minutes just sitting in the quiet, reading with a nice bit of lighting, and I'm at my happiest. My happiest is when I'm sat at one end of the sofa because it's quite big, and David's sat at the other, and we're just reading, and I can see him reading his book, and it just always makes me so happy. Are you laughing? Because that hasn't happened in ages, actually, David. Well, you said you were going to do some reading today, naughty boy. He's not feeling very well. So that's my happy place. So I guess that's sort of like my paradise if you think about it. But when I think about sort of my ideal or paradise library, I guess, I automatically envisage the Beauty and the Beast library with sort of like big ladders to climb up to get to the books at the top and things like that. And we recently visited, well, I say recently, it was last year, we didn't go this year, the library in Liverpool. Liverpool's like council library, which is absolutely like run by the council. It's absolutely amazing, and they've got a very modern new bit with like lots of Simon will be working for that library very shortly, so he talks about it a lot on his channel, but it's got amazing like escalators that go like at all different angles, and it's really tall and you can see all the way up to the top. And then off the side of that they've got the old library, which is a massive big round room with like 3 stories worth of books and loads of big desks in the middle, and oh my god, it's just absolutely amazing. When I visited there, David and I, David who's not even really into books or libraries, we were both in awe. It's just such a beautiful, amazing building. So I guess that's probably like that mixed a little bit with the Beauty and the Beast library. That's like my idea of paradise library. And then how would I have them like organised? You know, like it would be a dream, wouldn't it, to think, oh, I'm going to start here and I'm just going to read all of these books ever, and then but if they were arranged like alphabetically, then you'd never really get out of A, would you, if you had all the books? So I guess, and I have like very little books out here on display. For a booktube channel, I do have very little books here out on display, but I do sort of like to keep mine colour spined, because I just feel like they look nicer. I do also like to, when I go to other people's houses or see other people's bookshelves, I like seeing them like that. But for me, I tried to do it another way, and I just prefer them like this. And I feel like it's easier for me to look for things as well, because I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that had a red spine, so maybe I would keep it in colour spine order. But yeah, it would be amazing. But my librarian, so the second part of this question was, what character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? So I feel like Hermione would be the librarian in my personal literary paradise. I just feel like I associate her with reading so much. So when I was younger, I was really, really into reading, but it wasn't very cool to be into reading. So I sort of dampened it down, and Hermione made me realise how fun reading is, and particularly the Harry Potter books. So I feel like she's the #1 associated with reading for me, so I feel like she'd make a really, really good librarian. But also, like, when I first read this, the first person that popped into my head, who I don't know why he did, but Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, he was a librarian, wasn't he? So he was the first person that popped into my head. I feel like he's got a very bookish look about him, hasn't he? Like, he's got little glasses, very clipped English accent from the TV series. So yeah, he would maybe be there as well, sort of as Hermione's assistant. Just bringing the bookishness. I always really liked the way he was looking. I remember the episode of Buffy where he realised he couldn't read anymore, and it was like they were all realising their greatest fears or something. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure there's some Buffy fans out there. And his greatest fear was that he'd forgotten how to read, and like, I remember seeing the horror in his face and how awful it was for him, and I remember feeling like, oh my god, if that ever happened to me, it would be fucking awful. So yeah, Giles from Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Hermione from Harry Potter would be my librarians in my personal literary paradise. So yeah, there's just another little lit chat for you. I will read the question out again, and if you would like to respond in the comments down below, please do, because I love reading all the comments from these. I think they're really, really great discussion topics. So the questions are: do you envisage paradise as a kind of library? Describe it. What character or author would be the librarian in your personal literary paradise? So yeah, that's another episode of Lit Chat done with me, and I will see you all again soon for another BookTube video. Goodbye!